All right, CANA Esports fans. So we're getting ready for the finals of the Esports tournament this weekend. And as you can see, I'm all stacked up with snacks and have my all my computer ready to go. So I am going to be leading production for this. So as you can see behind me, three screens. The one with the over to the one with the mountain on it is going to have the live stream. The one on the left is going to have a Google Hangout Meet. Going to have my production panel on it, and I'll show you screenshots of that. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick overview of how the connections are working, and then show you some screenshots and some video from the actual tournament. So here's the overview of how we made this happen. Basically, it all starts with Koa, and he was on his computer up in Pennsylvania, and his roles were the game director and the camera person. So basically, he set up the Rainbow Six Siege server, and the teams logged into that server. And his main role after getting that all set up, which was having to set all the game settings and parameters, was that he was a spectator, and in spectator mode, you get the opportunity to have this overview camera, and you can also go into any of the players' first-person view. And when it's 5-on-5, and there are 3-minute rounds, they're very short. There's a lot of action. A lot of teams would wait until the very final seconds to engage and such. So Ko's job was pretty exciting, and that basically was a full-time job. He basically captured his video and sound and then pushed that to YouTube. So the second piece of this is kind of the centerpiece. So that was me. So I was on my computer down here in North Carolina, and I was capturing several feeds. I was capturing the Koa's YouTube game feed and his sound, and I was also capturing the commentary from both Jack and Thomas from Atlanta and Virginia via Google Meet, and I was combining that using OBS Studio into scenes and then pushing that to Twitch. So now this is important. Typically people, you can be a one-person show and try to do this all yourself. One, it takes really high-powered computers to do this. There's a lot of video encoding and processing that takes place, as well as audio, right? Because I'm getting two audio feeds, one from the game, one from Google Meet, and combining that in OBS Studio and then pushing it to Twitch. So I'm taking video, audio, combining it and then encoding that, sending it to Twitch, and with very little, hopefully very little lag, right? So all of us need very high bandwidth internet connections. So the other piece of this is that Jack and Thomas are actually watching my YouTube feed. And that is due to the fact that they needed to be in sync. There were several ways that we tried this over the weekend. And if Jack and Thomas are out of sync, if one of them has they're seeing stuff 5 seconds in advance of the other person, then the broadcaster or commentator's role becomes very confusing. Like one person is broadcasting something that hasn't even happened yet for the other person. So what we did is I actually push them the YouTube feed via Google Meet. So then they were both watching the same video in sync. Now, because of that, Thomas and Jack are only seeing the game footage. They have no idea what's being broadcast on Twitch. Now, they could open up a browser window and then watch the Twitch feed. Now, that was in a 90-second delay, just due to the fact that we didn't want any teams to actually watch the Twitch feed and be able to see what was going on real time. So that wouldn't have really helped Jack and Thomas. You can't really correct for 90 seconds in the future. The other thing about that too that kind of stinks is that that's using up bandwidth on their end, right? So they don't really want to do that. So I'm getting their video and audio from them via Google Meet. The only way that I can tell them what's going on, since I'm the producer, is that we use something called Discord, which is very popular with gamers. And that is how I was talking into their ear about what scene was up on Twitch, right? So if it was the tournament, the tournament bracket, or if there was a winner, or for instance, in the end, we interviewed the champion, the team captain off the champion team. So I needed to set that up very quickly. I could talk in their ear and tell them when they were going to go live with that and such. So it's very important, if anybody has, been involved in any kind of TV production or, radio production or any kind of, live production, you have to have some kind of channel to actually tell the people that are commentating or broadcasting or coordinating. In this case, we really didn't need to have any contact with Koa, although he could have been on the Discord channel if we needed him to. So typically, like in football and such, producers may guide the camera people to get certain shots, or to focus on different events or anything. I mean, Koa was definitely doing an awesome job and didn't need another person, or didn't need anybody talking into his ear about and quite honestly, the action was so fast. I'm not even sure if that would have helped. So, but yeah, that's how this all worked. It provided a good separation of actions. People weren't task overloaded. And then also the biggest thing here that you have to keep in mind is, one, the computing power. You need to kind of distribute that. Of course, relies on very good internet connectivity. And then the third thing that we found out throughout the weekend, which is a huge lesson learned, is when you distribute your tasks like this, it's much easier to troubleshoot. So for instance, Koa, when the game is running, he can't really do anything. He has to concentrate. That camera person, that's their full-time job, is doing the camera. So for instance, if there are any sound issues or any video issues or behind the scenes work, so if I need to structure the next scene or something, the producer has the time and bandwidth to actually do that. Commentators typically are watching the game stream, so they're fully engaged also. So you need people that can kind of focus on something else and be thinking ahead, right? So you have people that are in the moment, and then people that are ahead, and that's really where this producer role comes in very handy. So I think, in my point of view, others may probably disagree with me. I think that this is probably the minimum amount of folks that you can probably pull off a production of this level. We practiced for quite a while, in different aspects of this. And even during the tournament, Friday, we just did gameplay in the quarterfinals. Saturday, we did the commentators practiced, but we didn't broadcast them. And then I got to practice some producer things. And then Sunday, we actually did broadcast the semifinals, and we started putting all the elements together, which then culminated in the finals on Sunday night, which I think went over pretty well. There were still some bugs and some things we could have done better. However, spiraling up like that really, really helped us. And, you really don't know what you really don't know until you go with all of these different aspects. So no matter what amount of time we would practice before the tournament, until you get teams in there and, you get everybody up, in this full configuration, you could test pieces of it, and we did. However, there were glitches that we found out once we started putting it all together. So hopefully that's a great overview. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask either Koa, Jack, Thomas, or myself. And had a lot of fun, learned a lot, and that's the overview. All right, team, this is it. Ready to go live for R6 Showdown for CANA in 3, 2, 1. We're live.
Esports tournament. We started back on Friday with 5 teams actually. We had, of course, 3 teams. Unfortunately, we're not able to make it, but now we have made it. It is a rematch actually of the first game that we streamed back on Friday. Psych Ward against U.S. Army Esports. This is going to be a really, really exciting match. If you watched the last match, this tournament. Psych Ward was victorious 7-4, but not before U.S. Army took a 3-1 lead and looked like they were in total command. And then Psych Ward won 6 of the last 7 rounds, completely turned the tables on them. So this is going to be really interesting to see how both these teams approach this second showdown.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And these two teams had time to watch their other opponents that they played and see how each team played different opponents in this tournament. It should be a great rematch.
And the map chosen for this, at least this first final match, not a map that we've seen before in the tournament. So an entirely new map for our viewers here to watch tonight.
Also, new operator where her special ability is to shoot little nomad, is what they're called, and knock people off their feet, roamers on defense. Once they walk by it, it blows them off their feet, and the attackers know exactly where they are. So it's a smart ban right there.
And you think, especially when it comes to Psych Ward, they're going to want to take out those roamers early and often, because the roamers on New Horizon were able to create a lot of issues for Psych Ward in the earlier rounds. This is an interesting trend that we've seen, is that more and more attacking teams have been winning their rounds. Incredibly efficient offenses coming into play. The defense is just getting caught off guard way too often.
Yeah, and like we said, when these teams win these attacking rounds, they have an easier time closing out on defense. They don't have as much pressure on their defensive rounds to win all of them. They only need a couple more rounds to win once they get a couple on attack.
Yeah. And that it was a key win for U.S. Army, because even just one win in attack can really take off a lot of the pressure in defending. A great way to grab a momentum early.
And we still see the use of roof advantages by U.S. Army, like in all the other maps they've played in this tournament.
That top-down strategy, it proved incredibly effective for them in both their quarterfinal and semifinal. So we'll see if it remains effective in this final matchup. Minute 45 to go.
That bomb location right there. Sorry, Thomas. That bomb location right there is very open. It's by the main door, and there's about 4 different types of access points. They probably did that on purpose.
It puts Psych Ward at an immediate disadvantage, because if you're giving the attacking team multiple entryways into the bomb room, that you're going to be forced to really shelter inside that room and protect that bomb.
They also might have done it, I believe they picked the bomb room, so they might have done it just for that same reason, to be able to see as many attackers as possible.
Yeah. Which, of course, will work if... look at that,
Keiko takes out Zero.
And now J-Flow's down. Jackal is now out, and that's exactly what Psych Ward needed. They needed to take out Jackal right away. They have now a 2-man advantage. With less than a minute to go, they have a real good chance to tie this up.
Yeah, the U.S. Army needs to plant in 45 seconds or take out the entire team, and we saw last round J-Flow took out Spree.
Ooh, and Kakayo's goes down.
Now it's only a 4v3. Shia with the kill.
Yeah, both Shia and Ghostman were hit there a little bit ago. So Akbar, the only one on the U.S. Army, he's got full health.
Double kill for Spree right there, and Vega takes out Shia, and that's wow. Nebsy takes out Akbar. All 3 kills within about 2 seconds right there for Psych Ward to take back that round and tie up the game.
It's just that quick strike ability that Psych Ward has. Like 1 second, it's anyone's game, and then all of a sudden, it's game over.
Yeah.
It's really incredible how quickly Psych Ward is able to take control of a singular round. But that was 100% what Psych Ward needed. They took out Jackal in one of the first 2 kills, and then the double kill by Spree, and ball game.
Yeah, we see that happen a lot with the time running down, as they have to be desperate on offense to try and get that bomb site active, but Psych Ward was just waiting for him.
And that's why teams have such a big advantage on defense, is that if you can defend until those last 20 seconds, teams are going to start to get impatient and desperate, and they're going to rush towards bombs.
Yeah, but we just don't know. If the time runs out, the defensive team wins if no bomb has been planted, even though they might be 1v4.
So U.S. Army is not just so. U.S. Army isn't just fighting 5 guys on site board right now. They're fighting the clock too. And when the clock becomes the sixth man of the defense, that's when you're in trouble.
Yep.
10 seconds remaining.
But as we expected, first 2 rounds, they've been split both ways. One gone to Psych Ward, one gone to U.S. Army. Don't think we're going to see any lopsided affair today, knock on wood. We all hope for an exciting match. But so far, it's looking like it's going to be a really competitive game.
That's how the first game started off between these two back in the quarterfinals. It was 1-1, then it was 3-1 U.S. Army, and then a quick twist made it 6-3 for
Nebzy's health bar almost reached 0.
Nebzy tried to catch somebody off guard outside of the window, and Ghostman was waiting for him.
And Ghostman himself loses half his health.
As we see here, KKO's waiting for that operator to come right through that window. He's got a
Spree takes a shot. Shays trying to enter in from the side there, trying to pick somebody off. Still a minute 45 and no one down yet, but there have been some shots exchanged.
Jackal has a track on one of the defensive players, and Ghostman's making his move.
There we go. There's that teamwork that makes U.S. Army so dangerous.
That Jackal operator is very crucial, like we talked about. Again,
and
if you're Psych Ward,
if you're Psych Ward, you really got to neutralize Jackal early. Make sure that his impact on the round is minimal.
Yeah, now they're racing the time now. No casualties so far, with a minute and 10 seconds left in the round.
Once you get to about a minute, it's hustle time. But it's also concerning for the defense if there's a minute left and all 5 attackers are still alive. So really, this is danger time for both teams. They find the first bomb, and now Spree's down.
Ghostman takes out Spree.
And now J-Flow drops as well.
Yep, Nebzy takes out J-Flow. That's Jackal. That's a great kill for Nebzy.
Still a dead even round, 40 seconds. The team just kind of rushed at each other, and it's last man standing. I mean, I think we were all kind of taken aback when we saw both teams kind of laying into each other, and the clock's still showing 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. It was the first time we've actually seen a game that does that, but...
And I think even from the players' confusion, I don't think a lot of them have been to overtime before or experienced this.
I'm sure they have. They're pretty experienced. It's just one of their players spoke too quickly in the chat box and turned his brain off for a second.
It's fair. We all do that. We all make mistakes in the heat of battle.
Yep, no, OT is 1st to 8 for everyone viewing. Sorry for the confusion.
It's similar to tennis in championship matches. You have to be up by 2, or volleyball actually, to be up by 2 to win.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Much more conservative round in the first minute. By this time, last time it was a 2v1 in favor of Psych Ward, but nobody's died yet.
The bombs have been located by Psych Ward, which is something that they've been unable to do more so in the early going. So this is a good sign for Psych Ward that they've been able to locate now both of these bombs. But now it's just going to be, when are you going to attack? When are you going to press that attack?
Yeah, the clock's slowly ticking down. 1:35 left.
Yeah, Psych Ward cannot afford to be complacent here. They gotta push them a bit. And if you're Army, you're You got to put your best defensive strategy on board right now.
This could be the end of the tournament here, folks. If the Psych Ward comes out on top, it's over and they're the champions.
The excitement of the last round, it felt like a true last round.
I know, with the quick kills coming in, it did.
Absolutely.
Oh, Akbar's stunned right now.
A minute to go and no kills. This is not good if you're Psych Ward. Spree takes a hit.
Taking some hits, first one of the round. 40 seconds left. They have to plant or take out the entire team. 5v4, Vega does it. 5v3.
Nebsy is planting the diffuser.
5v2, Vega. 5v1, Plaz, 0.
5-on-1 with Shy.
Shy is the last one alive again. Diffuser is planted, so he would have to take out all 5 or defuse the bomb.
Shy, wow. Shy is the last man standing for U.S. Army to try and keep his team in this tournament.
And he's down. Psych Ward wins the tournament of a score 8-6 in overtime. What a great game that was.
What a game. And look, it kind of comes full circle. Flawless victory, not flawless victory, flawless round for Psych Ward to give them the tournament championship. What a round. And we see there Plaz and ending up being the MVP, which, you know what, he was able to rack up a ton of kills. But you see the kills are kind of evenly distributed there amongst team members. Always when you have kills evenly distributed amongst the team members, truly a team effort, not really just one guy carrying the entire squad.
Those last 2 overtime rounds really showed the actual Psych Ward character that we saw from the very first game.
And you got to give props to U.S. Army. They were just unbelievably strong in that in the second game.
Hey guys, hit up the see one of them is going to talk to you guys for some after action commentary about the match and everything.
Yep. Well, are we still on? Alrighty, we're going to be having an interview shortly with Spree from Psych Ward to talk about their victory in the CANA Esports R6 Showdown, our very first event.
Yeah, this is I think overall this was incredibly exciting to see. We saw a lot of incredibly strong teams come into the weekend, and we just saw a variety of results. You know, we never really saw a commonality in terms of, you know, how the games ended up. We had a 7-0, we had a couple 7-1s, we had a 7-2, we had a 7-3, we had a 7-4, and now we had an overtime 8-6 victory. So we kind of got a good mixture of every kind of result that you could expect from an event like this.
Yeah, it was a great first event, and if our production team's ready, I will send out the invite to Spree.
Absolutely. You've got to get in the minds of our new champions here, find out how they were able to get business done, especially in that being down 5-3.
Sounds good.
Absolutely. See Psych Ward now have their little names above that trophy. They are the inaugural CANA Esports Showdown champions.
Hello.
Hello. Give us 1 sec while our production guy gets it all worked out.
No worries.
Walt, just let us know when you are ready.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Cool. And Walt, you can... 1 sec here. we are joined here by Matthew. His gamertag is Spree from Psych Ward. They just came off their championship in our first ever CANA Esports R6 Showdown. Now, I was told, Matthew, that you guys might have seen that team before our tournament. Is that true?
We definitely have. Our first game we played on Friday, we had our best of one against them. We took the victory 7-4.
Did you see them before our tournament at all, or was that the first time?
You know, we have heard of U.S. Army before, or U.S. Army Esports. Obviously, we've heard of the U.S. Army, but we've seen them before around in the scene, but we've never had the opportunity to play them before now. So it was a new experience.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to see you guys had complete control of that first game, and the second game came down to OT. What happened there?
Yeah, I definitely feel in terms of our consulate match and going into it, we actually weren't really expecting to win that one because not only was it not our pick, we weren't really vying for consulate. We didn't even plan on playing it at all. It was a real surprise. So what really happened there was we kind of started off really free-forming. We didn't really have any set plans. We had no strats, no preparation that we would do specifically for this match. And over the few rounds that we were winning in the start, we kind of just built up this momentum that kind of led us to get that 7-1 victory.
And when it came to round two, you guys were down at one point 5-3. You're down 5-3, 2 defeats away from heading to a game 3. What was your all's mentality going into that ninth game down 5-3?
Ninth round, yeah. When we were getting to that point and we were just a few rounds down, it was kind of like a cold water moment. We needed a hold up. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it, but we're kind of slipping up here. Morale maybe getting a bit down. There's a little bit too much negative energy going on. So we just took a moment to breathe, and we were like, hold on, let's just bring things back. We've got this. And after just a little bit of re-coordination, we reminded ourselves what we're doing this for, why we want this. And when everyone kind of realigned their goals, we had it set straight in our minds. It wasn't really as difficult as before when we were kind of getting slogged down in the heat of the game.
Absolutely. That kind of mental sharpness is kind of what separates champions from non-champs